Good afternoon, all. Happy Physiotherapy Day to all. On behalf of Dolphin PG Institute of Biomedical and Natural Sciences and Department of Physiotherapy, I feel privileged to welcome our today's esteemed guest, Dr. Prasenjit Patra, Senior Physiotherapist, ESIC Delhi, to deliver his lecture on topic The Future Ahead, a look at the Allied Health Professional Act 2021. Dr. Patra, one of the best cardiotherapists in India and dedicated, innovative, and passionate teacher, does not need any introduction. He is known to our institute as one of the pillars of Department of Physiotherapy. The department, what we see today, is all because of his dedication and hard work and honesty. As a mentee, I treasure to welcome my mentor, Guru, Dr. Prasenjit Patra, and also thank him to take time out of his busy schedule. Now, not taking much of time, I would hand over the screen and mic to Dr. Patra. Dr. Patra, please continue.
First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Variku for the kind introduction. She is kind and she is a bit generous with her words, but thanks all the same. I'd also like to thank Mr. Arvind Gupta and Dr. Shalija Pant for providing me this opportunity to share this option with you. Now, before I start on the topic, let's share the present scenario in the field of physiotherapy. Now, over the last 10, 20 years, the profession of physiotherapy has grown a lot. We have seen growth in primarily three dimensions, that is academics, clinical research, and popularity. Now, almost the entire general public is aware about physiotherapy, what it is, what it encompasses. We also have patients coming directly to us without referral sometimes. So there has been a huge increase in the popularity of physiotherapy among the general public. Similarly, in clinical research, there are a lot of articles coming up. There are a lot of articles available nowadays regarding research on pure physical therapy, which was not available a few days back. Most of the topics now are available on research. Even Indian researchers are doing very good research. So clinical research has also seen a huge growth. Now, academics. Thirdly, academics. Now we have PhDs in the field of physiotherapy. We have masters with various specializations. So academics has also seen a very good growth in the field of physiotherapy. But when I talk to clinicians and students, there is still a lot of discontent in the profession. Among the students, there is a lot of unsurety about the future. Now, why is that? That primarily results from the administrative apathy towards our profession. By administrative apathy, I mean, first of all, we are all aware, there are lack of posts in physiotherapy. Government jobs are hard to come by. Private jobs are exploitative. If you look at the government funding for combined physiotherapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy, only 0.04% of the budget was allocated, which is basically peanuts. Other than that, in the clinical field, what bothers physiotherapists most is the dominance of other professions. There is the Clinical Establishment Act, which virtually bars us from establishing our own clinics. Even if you set up a clinic, you are supposed to get a medical referral. You cannot get a patient on your own. So these factors have led to the discontent. Also, there is lack of funding from scientific bodies. We hardly hear of any funding given for physiotherapy. Now, all of this has occurred because primarily physiotherapy was and still is an unrelated profession. The government on previous occasions has tried to come up with various acts to try and regulate this profession. due to certain factors, due to opposition from other bodies, due to opposition from physiotherapists, that does not succeed. And in the absence of any regulation and the statutory protection of the profession, in fact, anybody could become a physiotherapist. With the advent of the National Commission for Allied Health Professionals Act 2021, that is about to change. Let's go through the good points and then we'll come to the challenges. First of all, the definition. The definition given by the National Commission for Allied Health Professionals of Physiotherapy is multidimensional and one of the most comprehensive there is. Most importantly, it protects the physiotherapy title. It clearly defines that you can be called a physiotherapist only when you have passed a curriculum which is of greater than 3600 hours spread over a period of 3 to 6 years. And you also need a minimum of a bachelor's degree. That these specific conditions provide protection to the physiotherapy title. Now, no one, no unqualified person, no Tom, Dick, and Harry can become a physiotherapist. Secondly, the definition clearly states that physiotherapists can practice independently. We can practice without a medical referral. Thirdly, there is no mention of the words paramedical in the bill. Also, this bill will supersede all other bills that have been passed previously, including the Clinical Establishment Act. So, hopefully, they look forward to. Now, there are a lot of challenges remaining. Let's go through some of the challenges that are remaining. First of all, the need and importance of physiotherapy. We all know India has a population of 1.3 billion people. Due to the sedentary lifestyle and because of COVID changes, the need of physiotherapy has ballooned. Similarly, the geriatric population has grown over time, which has increased the need for physiotherapy. Most importantly, non-communicable diseases. They are mostly treated with pharmacological treatments. Now imagine if we were able to treat non-communicable diseases without the use of pharmacological drugs only through physiotherapy, we would be saving approximately 6.2 trillion US dollars of the GDP, which is by any stretch of the imagination a huge amount. So what I mean to say is there the scope of physiotherapy is only going to get brighter. Now, as I was saying, there was some challenge, although it's a there are certain challenges which need to be seen through. First of all, the clinical practice. In the clinical practice, the commission envisions setting up of entry and exit exams, which is a very good initiative in my opinion. Only qualified people get to come in and only qualified people get to treat patients, which is very, very necessary for our profession. Secondly, the commission needs to set up clinical posts for postgraduates. In the present clinical scenario, there are no clinical posts for postgraduates. Me, myself, being a postgraduate, I have joined here on the recruitment post of a bachelor because there are no clinical posts for postgraduates. This needs to change. This leads to a underutilization of physiotherapists, which needs to stop. Thirdly, there we have to have clinical guidelines. How to treat a patient. We should not be according to whims and fancy of each and every physiotherapist. There should be specific clinical guidelines on how to treat a patient. These guidelines, hopefully, because of the advent of the council, will come about. Moving on to service conditions. In India, the service conditions are abysmal. In the government sector, there we are given a very low pay grade, not to, and private sector, well, with the less said the better. There is urgent need for cadre restructuring, for duties and responsibilities to be fixed for each layer of the cadres, as well as fixing the pay scales and recruitment rules. Most government institutions still have an option for recruitment of diploma holders, which, in my opinion, should stop since we are now producing PhDs. This will also prevent the brain drain, which causes the brightest of our profession to seek to go abroad to seek better career prospects. Moving on to the Physiotherapy Council. Yes, we are going to have a Physiotherapy Council. We are going to have an independent council, although under the ambit of the National Commission. Now, it is some points like there is no mention of the duties, responsibilities, and power of the council in the act. These needs to be established as soon as possible. Ideally, they should encompass regulation of the profession within the criteria of the commission. Secondly, constitution of the council. According to the act, the council would consist of members from the national institutes of national importance, members of IAP. Ideally, at least half of the members of the council should be from the profession to lead for better prospects of this profession. That is again that will take around 2 to 3 years. That is a long time to go. Next, coming on to academics. Academics should receive a boom. We have ideally we would have uniform basic standards of education all over the country. The curriculum would be the same all over the country. Assessment techniques, training, research, the procedures should be same all over the country. As a physiotherapy student, if you're talking to someone from maybe Tamil Nadu, you would know that he has undergone the same level of training, the same level of education which we have undergone. So that would lead to standardization of education, which is the need of the hour. Secondly, the Commission envisions setting up of allied and healthcare education boards to regulate the standards of the education at the UG level, at the PG level, and the super specialization levels. So hopefully, once that comes up, you would have not only higher standard of educations, we also have cutting research in our education. There is also talk of setting up of allied and healthcare professional assessment and rating boards, which basically will look to rate our colleges and educational institutions based on the level of education they are giving, something similar to what NAC is doing at present. That will help the students to find out which is the best college and then choose according to their needs. Also, it will help the end user, that is the patients, to choose which physiotherapist they might want to go to. There is also the Professional Ethics Regulation Board, which will deal with ethical issues, conflict of interest issues, and malpractice in the profession. Again, these are what we hope the commission will do. These will take time, but if these take place, the profession is on a good path. Lastly, research in physical therapy. Now, the commission needs to fund research in physical therapy. Although a lot of research is being done, we need to do a lot more research. Research will lead to establishment of national guidelines. It will increase evidence-based practice and will ultimately benefit the end user, which is the patient. It will also help for establishing continuing professional development of the practitioners in the profession. If they will be duty bound to refresh their knowledge and their standards every few years, which will again ultimately aid the patients. Now, a common a common worry among students and practitioners of physiotherapy is whether we should go for an independent council or we should go for this umbrella commission of allied health sciences. In my opinion, independent council, the self-regulating independent council, who has two primary objectives: maintaining the standards of education and maintaining the standards of practice. In most cases, these independent councils over time no longer work in the broader interest of these two objectives. Over time, they become these super exclusive clubs where once you get into these clubs, you are no longer you are immune to outside pressures. This is evident in the case where very few very few healthcare practitioners have been seen to lose their license because of malpractice. It is so hard to, in India at least, to stop, to cancel a license of a healthcare practitioner because of the opacity of these professional councils. Hence, in my opinion, the era of the independent council is obsolete. In place, multidisciplinary bodies having representatives from all sections of the society to regulate human resources like healthcare workers is the need of the hour, which the government has envisioned, and if implemented properly, would go a long way in establishing a profession which provides satisfaction as well as service to its practitioners, as well as provides a Herculean service to the society. I think that's it. Thank you very much for your time.
Hello, hello, sir. Sir,
Yeah,
hello.
हाँ ऋचा,
Uh, Finish, sir.
हाँ हो गया.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
ओके, कुछ समझ में आया?
जी, sir.
ओके. Should I leave?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, should I
Thank you
leave?
for the valuable information
Okay,
about
most
this
welcome.
professional act.
Okay, okay.
You, you are an inspiration for us, sir.
Richa,
I
thank
would
you.
like to, I would like to thank our chairman, sir, on behalf of Dolphin Institute. our principal ma'am and director sir, Dr. Vijay Gambhir, Dr. Sunil sir, Dr. Vivek sir, and Dr. Ritika Mani, Dr. Kirti ma'am, Mr. Manoj and Mr. Badrul, and the whole IT department for their support in conducting the whole program for today. Sir, I would again like to thank you for sparing the valuable time for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, I would like to request Dr. Deepti Variku, ma'am. Deepti ma'am, I would request all the faculty members to please join for the group photograph.
Sir, just few seconds, everyone will log in and we will have a group picture.
Great.
Let me tell everyone to log in, sir. Just a second, sir.
No issues. And sorry for the technical problems.
No problem, sir. I have messaged, sir. Just a second.
Okay.
Dr. Richa has joined. We are waiting for Dr. Kirti, Dr. Vivek, Dr. Sunil.
नमस्कार। कोविड-19 को बढ़ने से रोकने के लिए भी
सर,
लॉगिन कर रहा हूं।
हाँ जी सर।
आपने जिस व्यक्ति को कॉल किया है उन्होंने अपनी कॉल दूसरे नंबर पर फॉरवर्ड की हुई है। कॉल मिलने तक
Sunil sir looking handsome as ever.
What?
Looking handsome as ever.
अरे ठीक हो सर, कैसे हो?
बढ़िया बढ़िया फाइन.
डॉक्टर विवेक चौहान एंड डॉक्टर कीर्ति माथुर लॉग इन कर रहे हैं सर. जस्ट फ्यू सेकेंड्स मोर. रिचा मैम आप भी एक स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिएगा, मैं भी ले लूंगी. और सुनील सर आप भी ले लीजिएगा.
अभी डॉक्टर तपन ने मंगवाया होगा ना? किसने मंगवाया? कौन से नाम से? मैंने नहीं मंगवाया, ये मेरा कमरा नहीं, मैं किसी डॉक्टर तपन से पूछ लीजिए, बड़े वाले कमरे में होंगे शायद, मुझे आइडिया नहीं है। मुझे आइडिया नहीं है, ये मेरा रूम नहीं है, मैं तो काम करने आया हूँ।
हाँ जी सर। नहीं नहीं सर, एंड नहीं हुआ, आप गेस्ट से लॉगिन करिए सर, गेस्ट लॉगिन से। ऋचा मैम, कीर्ति मैम और विवेक सर लॉगिन नहीं कर पा रहे हैं।
मैम करने तो चाहिए, यहाँ तो सब लोग ही नहीं है।
आप एक बार कीर्ति मैम को कॉल कर लेती हूँ मैं।
हाँ, इसका लिंक है ना जो यूआरएल का। ओके हो गया, अब आप नया टैब खोलते हैं ना, मैं लिखो।
इधर ही आ जाओ, सब इसी से हो जाते हैं लॉगिन। नहीं हो रहा है मैम लॉगिन, कोई लॉगिन नहीं कर पा रहा, हम इसी फोन से आ जा रहे हैं सब। आ जाइए, थोड़ा पास पास हो जाइए, सब दिख जाएंगे।
कीर्ति मैम नहीं दिख रही।
कीर्ति मैम नहीं दिख रही है, एक सेकेंड।
मैम फोन को हॉरिजॉन्टल कर दो।
अभी पास पास आ जाइए, सब लोग दिख रहे हैं मैम,
फोन को
देखिए।
नहीं मैम, अब
ओके,
सर नहीं दिख रहा।
कौन से सर नहीं दिख रहे हैं मैम?
जॉन सर।
जॉन सर दिख रहे हैं सर, आप हाथ ऊपर करिए। विवेक सर बीच में से दिख रहे हैं, ये देखो, ये दिख रहे हैं सर।
अब ठीक है मैम।
हेलो एवरीवन। हेलो सर, हेलो मैम। We would like to thank Dr. Patra sir and Dr. Aditi Patra ma'am for giving time to all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, and wish you all a very happy World Physiotherapy Day to the entire physio fraternity.
कुछ नहीं हो रहा है। हाँ, फोटो से खींच के। Okay everyone, then bye कर लो। Bye everyone.
Bye. Thank you all.
क्रॉस वाला बटन।
बाय बाय।